and coffee with the DM. What's up, Beacon?
What's going on, Mr. DM?
What's up, buddy? Hey, man, I'm excited today. We got the thought auditing conversation going on. I don't think people even know what they're in store for, do they?
I don't think so, man. I think they don't see it coming, but it's not something to see coming. They gotta sense it. Change their POV, their perspective on life, and that's basically what this episode's going to be about.
Right, man. No, it's exciting, man. Well, we'll let a couple people get on, guys and gals. I super appreciate you guys being here. Beacon's going to throw here on the bottom half here all day today, but we have the new book coming out, Magician vs. Mule, April 24th at 12:34 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's an awesome time because it's my daughter's birthday. She'll be 1 year old for next Friday. Plus, my goal and my intentions are that we hit the #1 best-selling author again over there on Amazon, which I'll keep you guys in the loop. But as you guys are coming on, if you guys would, give me a quick shout-out. Let me know where you guys are from. Let me know where you're from, what city and state. We got people coming on here. So I want to talk about, as you guys are coming on here, Beacon, they can hear me and everything, right? We're good?
Yeah, we should be fine.
Awesome, thanks. So as I'm sitting here, today's been already, I got up at 4 o'clock this morning. I couldn't really sleep. Just up, antsy, ready to go and attack the day. And the thought auditing, what it really comes down to is I feel like it's why I've been able to build my companies the way I have. What's up, Jonathan? But I'm sitting here, I'm in Parkland, Florida. I got my family here. We're hanging out. We're financially good. We're physically good. We're mentally, I think, okay. We're trying to always improve that. That's why it's okay, because we're constantly pursuing better mental clarity and all that. I think a lot of times, though, people get very consumed with this. And again, I have a small group called the DM family. We have 33 guys in there. And probably one of the biggest things I see people crush it with is the thought auditing conversation. And what thought auditing really comes down to is, why do you think the way you do? And again, from the conversations of, when your spouse mentions something, why does it trigger you? When you're doing a deal or getting ready to spend money on marketing, why do you think marketing costs money? It's not an investment. Or when you're getting ready to, I don't like to be a salesperson. Well, why do you think that way? What's up, Steve? What's up, Pat? What's up, Dylan? What's up, guys? What's up, Dwayne? Why do you think the way you think? Because it carries a lot of baggage. Why do you think why do you deal with money the way you deal with money? Why do you make the amount of money you make right now and not more or less? Have you ever thought about that? Most people complain about it. That's not thinking about it. Most people complain about it. This will be a great Q&A day today, by the way, guys. So I remember, this is a true story, back in 2005, my grandmother passed away in October, and I was a workhorse. I was a mule at the highest level, and I still am. I love working hard. I like it. Everyone I know that's successful loves working hard, by the way. It's not about not working hard. It's just how do we work hard and smart simultaneously. But the book about Magician versus Mule is really about thoughts. It really is about thinking to know, one, what you are. See, when you can clearly identify, like, this is why AA works for certain people and not others, because if you identify yourself as, I have a problem, I'm an alcoholic, well, guess what? Now we can start on the journey of creating a solution for that issue, because you've admitted it. Admitting it's 99% of the problem. Many folks are in denial. See, if you don't even know you're a mule, which my goal with the book is to help you realize that we're all mules. 100% of us are mules. That's how we've been designed. Sit down, shut up, raise your hand if you got to go to the bathroom. And if I say no, you can't go. If I say yes, take this hall pass, but you only got 3 minutes. What's up, Kyle? These are the things that create mule mentalities. And what they're really doing, if you guys know this or not, they're programming us to go to a job. Go sit down at your job from 9 to 5. Don't ask questions. Fit inside of this box. Don't disrupt people. And if you do, be fearful because you may get fired. Well, have you ever thought why you feel that way? Because I feel the opposite. I have to say something. I need to say something. If I see something wrong, I have to address it. It's not comfortable. It's not always easy, but it's a must. That's my thought. you know, I contribute a lot of this to my parents. They've taught me a lot of great stuff in life, but also I picked up a lot of bad habits that they have in their life. Rightfully so, right? I lived with them for 18 years of my life. I probably would pick up a lot of habits, good and bad, from them. So us, as we become adults, we have to start compartmentalizing and asking which ones are serving us and which ones are hurting us. Like, for example, my parents, they would give you the shirt off their back. I like that about them. I'm going to keep that thought, and I'm going to keep that action with me and my kids, etc., right? That's a good one to keep. But maybe, you know, my mom, I've seen her work her butt off all my life. You know, she did an amazing job, still does. And I saw her go out and grind it out. And I would hear her come out. I always remember, I talk about this in the book, but I'd always see her come out and I'd smell the Aqua Net. We're sitting there eating cereal. I wouldn't be doing that now, but we're eating cereal. And I smell the Aqua Net, and my mom's dressed so nice and she's going to work. And then she comes home. I still don't know how they did it, raising 3 kids the way they did without technology and cell phones like we have today with super efficiencies. But we never felt like we needed anything. And, you know, they'd come home and work, and my mom would sit there and be making dinner real quick, spaghetti or whatever. And all of a sudden she'd be like, oh, yeah, they fired so-and-so. Now I got to do his job or her job. And now my mom's doing 3 jobs and she's getting paid for 1. And the truth is they would never, ever, ever, ever hire anybody else because they discovered my mom's a mule. The only way my mom's going to stop is she's going to die or quit. And she's never quitting because she has a family to take care of. She was being responsible in her mind, right? So I look at that and I've always wondered, I'm like, man, I just never felt right with me. But with that said, to keep it real with you guys, back in 2000, you know, all the way up to 2007, because I've been in business since 96, for 11 years of my business career, I treated people like shit because I didn't know any better. I genuinely thought you pay people less and you work them harder. That's what you do. I used to not take lunches, but with all this said, the caveat, I would work side by side with them. I treated myself like this too, by the way, not just them. I treated myself like this. Pay less, work harder, do more, be more, get more, do more, work harder. See, where I come from, if you shake someone's hand, pre-corona, if you shake someone's hand and they don't have calluses on their hand, they're lazy. They're mama's boy. You know, and I always remember that. I always loved hanging out with my uncles and my dad, going to projects. I always did a lot of, properties and building houses and stuff like that. So, I mean, to be tore up, hands literally 100 degrees, hammer nails and, you know, messing around, like that was fun to me. That's what I was taught and trained my whole life. That's my thought of how work should look. So when I got out into the real world and started building my own life, you know, heavens forbid, I was doing the same thing. But the problem was my bank account wasn't matching with where my goals were. And I kept getting frustrated, asking myself, why? Why am I continuously back in the same cycle? Have you ever noticed like people are constantly, oftentimes in the same cycle? And I'm using this as an example. It's probably a bad example. But people that are in bad relationships, have you ever noticed they're always in bad relationships? People have bad financial situations. Have you noticed that they're always in bad financial situations? Like forever, their whole life. Have you ever noticed like people that have, bad physical, like health issues, they always have physical health issues? See, we get in these patterns that we've never really taken a moment from my experience, because this is something I learned a long time ago back in, like I said, 2007. This was very emotional for me when I lost a very key employee that actually pretty much ran my company, and I had to step in and really dig in and see what we were made of. But I truly, I still today, one, I'm grateful that they all stuck around as long as they did because they were amazing people. And two, I think about like what I could have done better. You know, I messed up. And again, I admitted it. It's not like I tried to avoid it. I just didn't know better. So with video and everything we got around us and, technology, you can realize in books, so many people's written so many great books about leadership and about treating people right and all that, that when we talk about mentorship, it's not necessarily going and spending $30,000 with a mentor, even though I think that could help you drastically if you have access to the cash. But, a book could be your mentor. Read a book, find a book, The Power of Concentration, Think and Grow Rich, I mean, there's millions and millions of books out there that are amazing books. But find something you're struggling with and let's get better about it, right? If you want to get better relationships, I'm not the guy to talk about, but there's books about it. What is it? The 5 Love Languages. I'm sure that's a great book for all of us to read multiple times. But back to this thought audit. Have you ever thought, like, when I work with a lot of, what's up, Paul? What's up, Nick? I work with a lot of entrepreneurs. That's all I do work with, really. And their thoughts are very interesting to me. We all have our own thought patterns. And when they come to me and I'm like, yo, you got to hire an assistant. And if they're a solopreneur, they're like, I can't. It costs too much money. My thoughts don't think like that. I don't think like that anymore. So I have to step back and put myself in their shoes back in the day in 96 and ask myself, well, you cannot not afford it, right? So a lot of people, like when they see a new car you might want, I'll use that as an example, you might say, I can't afford that car behind me. It's a $350,000 car. I can't afford the car. Okay. Maybe the question is, how could I afford the car? Have you ever thought about asking a different question? I can't lose 20 pounds. What would my day look like if I do lose 20 pounds? What does my diet look like? What does my workout routine look like? What is my time frame to do that? See, your thoughts, you can change them by different questions. The thought is driven by the question, by the way. I can't afford it. You're right. You can't. But do you want it? Yep. How bad? Really bad? So you got to ask different questions. So in business, when you're hiring this assistant, I can't afford an assistant. Well, why can't you afford someone for $3,000 a month that's going to make you $10,000 a month? Oh, I can afford it if they make me $10,000 a month. So why couldn't they make you $10,000 a month if you get an extra 160 hours a month of free time? Because you're paying them for 40 hours of their time per week. Times 4 weeks, that's 160 hours you're buying for $3,000. So you start asking yourself these thoughts. Well, I've never managed anybody. Well, that's a different conversation than you can't afford them. Well, I don't know what to have them do. Well, that's a different conversation than saying you can't afford them. See, these thoughts drive our direction, and ultimately, unfortunately, most people aren't going anywhere. That's the problem. That's the thought. The thought is holding you back. The good thing is, the reality is a lot of you guys have a lot more time in your life to be thinking about stuff. You're probably starting to realize you've been lied to your whole entire life. You've been lied to that you need a bunch of degrees to make a lot of money. You've been lied to think that you could do whatever you want whenever you want. You've realized that's not the case. It's happening, right? So at the end of the day, what are you doing to think? By the way, I thought audit daily, every single day. Let's say if you're buying a watch. Let's say if I'm building a team. Let's say if I'm trying to start a company or buy a company or whatever. We got to think about what it is about. So many people might say, hey, you buy a watch, it's $40,000. Oh my God, I can't afford that. That's stupid, blah, blah. It's not about the watch. It's about the thought to get what I want. You judging it like that's a watch, it's an expensive watch, and me thinking, well, it's not that expensive. It's kind of an entry watch for where I want to go. Two different sides of the conversation. And not only that, I remember being in Georgia when I drive the rolls. People are like, oh my God, how many families could you feed with that amount of money you spent for that car? Well, I fed a lot of families. There's a lot of people that worked on that car that have a job because I buy those cars, and my friends do too, and other people that I don't know. So we feed a lot of families. So it's very judgmental when our thoughts become judgmental. That's a thought, by the way. Why are they so judgmental? By the way, they're not judging me because they don't know me. They're questioning their thoughts. They're judging them, what they think they know or don't know. So they get caught up in this weird cycle. That's like, it's always funny when people talk about haters. You understand your haters don't hate you. They don't know better. They hate themselves. That's why they're hating. How could they hate someone they don't know? It doesn't even make sense. They're hating that I'm here and they're here. Why? Why burn up the mental brain energy and all this thoughts to hate on someone? By the way, you don't hate the person. You hate what the person might look like, or you hate what the person has. It's not because they have it. It's because you don't have what they have. That's the only reason. What's going on with the political world right now? Everyone's like, Trump's right or Trump's wrong. Well, Listen, right or wrong, we're in it. So the thought needs to come, not am I right or wrong, but what can I do about me, the me economy, that I control? I can control when I wake up. I can control when I go to sleep. I can control what I consume. I don't need Fox News, CNN, and all this other shitty news on. By the way, I recommend none of it on. It's not on in my house ever. There's no need for it. So, and what are you talking about your kids? What are you reading? Here's what most kids are doing right now. No, maybe you should get them up doing something. I'm teaching my son about stocks. I'm teaching my son about self-directed IRAs. You're going to see something very cool on Friday when you come to this video on my daughter's first birthday, what she's getting for her birthday. Don't think it's a bunch of toys and a bunch of candy, that's for sure. There's going to be a lot of cool things that I'm doing. I want to level people up, including me and my family and you. My thoughts are on what we're capable of. My thoughts don't come from lack of. It comes from opportunity, where I can go. How do we, as a unit, you and I, how do we think better? How do we think bigger? How do we think stronger? See, when you're coming from a strength of thought processing, your thought auditing, and you're coming from strength, you always have much more confidence. You're always in much more control. There's nothing you can say that will hurt my feelings. Why? Because you don't matter to me. Truthfully, you don't matter to me and my thought process, right? You know how much, maybe it's because I've been ingrained. You know how many people has told me I'm crazy and still do with how big of companies I'm going to build? Like, I'm going to make $1 million a week with this company. You can't do it, dude. Why? No one's ever done that in the industry. Okay, cool. Like, I don't care what they say. It doesn't affect me at all. Zilch. Like, it literally goes one ear out the other. It doesn't even, like, you can't let other people tell you what you're capable of or not capable of. Do you understand that's been going on your whole life? Everyone will tell you what you can't do. Well, hey, why don't you fucking tell me what I can do and see how many people tell you what you can do? Think about that thought. And by the way, if that's you talking down to people, shame on you. It doesn't serve you or them. Because assuming most people they don't have that mental fortitude, hearing like, oh my God, I can do whatever I want. Why is it that as a child and as a parent, which I am, why would you would never tell your kids, you are stupid, you are dumb, you can't do that, you got to go to school, don't be a dummy, you're better than that, no one will ever do that, you can't go to the moon. You would never say that. Johnny, you can be whatever you want, buddy. Keep smiling, have fun, be genuine, be happy. The world is an amazing place. And for some reason during this process, we lose some of that and or all of it for a moment. But I'm assuming right now with all this free space time in your brain, sitting at home, I hope you're working on yourself, is that at the end of the day, you're realizing your thoughts are controlling you. We know that, right? And they're either, like I said, they're controlling you to serve or controlling to take you down. Do you want to be happy or sad? Do you want to be motivated or demotivated? Do you want to be frustrated or optimistic? All these are thoughts. All these are thoughts. See, it's interesting to me that I could think, like, and again, I'm using big story thoughts like bulimia or anorexic and all this. Understand, like, they look in the mirror. What is that, body morphing? Like, they look in the mirror and they look beautiful, and yet in their brain, they don't see the beauty that others see in them. And therefore, they make themselves literally sick and or die from it. Because their thoughts are controlling their behavior. Alcoholism, drug addiction. I mean, it's endless. It's everything. Anything you have, everything you have in your life is because it started with a thought. Everything, good and bad. You understand that, right? Most people don't accept the thought as theirs unless it's good, because it feels good. But the real opportunities in your thoughts are when it makes you feel vulnerable, anxious, insecure, and scared. It's scary. It's scary to admit that for the last 30 fucking years of your life, something you've believed in and fought for your entire life now is not what you believe in. And you're holding on to it. It's going to eat you alive. You have to come clean. Not for me, not for the other person beside you, for yourself. And when you start truly believing that and knowing that this does work, your thoughts control your behavior. Like I have a buddy, he started a business about 10 years ago, and he created a monster. I mean, this thing was printing money, 100 grand a day minimum. And unfortunately, he hated his life. He didn't want to get up, but he had to. He had a lot of employees, a lot of crazy stuff going on, and he didn't enjoy his days. And I kept telling him, I'm like, man, you got to rethink this, right? Rethink what you're doing. You got to go to your thoughts and ask, why did you build it this way? What's interesting, for the last 4 companies he's built, they always go under eventually. And he'll be up on a big high, and then he'll go down to a massive low, and then boom, he's done. And then he's restarting something else. and I showed him a different path of sustainability. And this guy was always, I mean, he was sick. He was driving hours a day. Just not taking care of himself. He didn't have time genuinely in his brain to take care of himself. He was in total chaos at all times. And he literally left. He cut it loose. He literally just woke up one day and said, I'm done. Tapped out. That's okay. He didn't quit. He moved on. Big difference. He didn't quit on himself. He moved on to grow. So he tapped out, moved on, and then now he's generating over 200 grand a month, and he literally has the best life in the world. He can do what he wants, when he wants, from wherever he wants, because he repositioned his thoughts. This didn't happen overnight. It took 18 months to do this, and he's still doing it, and he'll continue to do it the rest of his life. But now he has a baseline of thinking. He has a baseline of not liking the feeling of always being broke or always being under, like his health is better. He's living, he has his best life ever right now. That's not by accident. The stuff you can control. I know it sounds a little hokey pokey quirky, but whatever you got, it's because of you. Whatever you got. And you can blame your mom and dad, you can blame your cousin, you can blame all the weird bad stuff that happened to you or didn't happen to you and make these excuses. But listen, it won't serve you. It doesn't serve you. And if it did happen, something bad, the truth is the person that did something bad to you is still controlling your mind and winning the game of control. That's why they did the bad stuff to you. It made them feel like they're in control. You understand that, right? I don't have to forget, but I can move on because I'm in control. See, when I have bad situations, which we all do, lawsuits and this and that, listen, I can't control how the other person feels. That's not my job to worry about that. I know I do the right thing. I did this, I did that. Now my job is to simply control me economy. How I wake up, what I talk about, what I do, how I do it, with whom I do it. And I focus on the reality of what I want. It doesn't always, and again, I'm not saying everything's rainbows and unicorns here. I'm just saying financially, physically, emotionally, I'm in a better place than I've ever been in my life. And I hope, and I'm just getting started. And I've been working on this since 2005 when I realized like I can do more and I have to detach from my old me and become a new me. Like you guys understand, every 6 months I'm a new person. If you follow me online, you see this. The way I talk, probably what I wear a lot of the same stuff because I don't really shop a lot, but the way I talk, what I'm thinking about, more importantly, what I'm talking about, my journey is it's changing, it's evolving, it's growing. See, it's not like when you go and you're talking to people and they're talking about the winning touchdown from high school 25 years ago. No one cares if you won a football game 25 years ago except you. That means you're living in the past and your thoughts are holding you back from your future of where you could be. If you're talking about the same people, if you're talking about all the negative stuff, how does it serve you? It doesn't. It makes you feel cool talking shit about people. You shouldn't. It shouldn't at all. Because again, you're stealing from your future self. You're stealing from your happiness. You know what I mean? That's why I don't like all these junky TV shows. I think TV is disgusting, most of it. like the Kardashians and stuff. It's like, and housewives. It's all fake. Number one, clearly, and number two, all they're trying to do is they have to be so over the top. They have product placement. If you guys know that or not, all that stuff's paid product placement with the big high-end purses. It creates false hope to the everyday person. Who's going to buy a $50,000 purse that makes $25,000 a year? It's not even achievable. Then you go to New York City and you buy a fake. Well, why would you buy a fake purse? You know it's fake. Well, no one else does. Well, it doesn't matter about no one else. It matters about you. You know it's fake, period. So it's like the thought that you think you need that, you get that, and now you become this. Well, I can tell you, me having this car, me having big houses and expensive watches, I was just talking to my buddy, dude, it doesn't matter. No one really cares except me. It's cool to me. Might not be cool to you, but it's cool to me. Some people are like, oh, dude, that's a small collection of cars you got. I got 50 cars. Okay, cool. What does that mean for me? Like, I don't know what it means because my thoughts, I'm thinking about the me economy. How does it serve me? How can I grow from it? What does it do? But back to the business side of it, we have to be thinking, because most people follow me are in business, we have to be thinking bigger than the problem. We have to be thinking in advance, not theorizing like, oh, what if, but no, we have to control this today to get to the future of where we want to go. You guys understand, like, I was talking with my buddy Tim, and he was like talking about Elon Musk literally thinks we can like hop buildings. He thinks we live in this warp time zone where like things could happen. Like, it's, who knows? I mean, it's a little out there, obviously, but like for me, I believe anybody here could do anything they want. I want everyone I know to be super wealthy, financially, physically, emotionally. It doesn't take from me if you're happy financially, physically, and emotionally, and wealthy. It doesn't take from me. See, there's an abundance of all of the above. You don't believe me? They just cut 2 point whatever trillion dollars out of thin air. Abundance. I don't know if most people even know how much fucking money $1 trillion is, let alone 2 point something trillion. You understand how much money that is? It's a lot of money. It's a lot. I don't even think people can grasp. I can't even grasp it, and I kind of know about it. It's a lot of money. So for you and I, the only thing we can constantly is focus on is thought auditing. See, when I bought this watch, my first watch, I bought, like, not my first, but my first real big purchase of watch, I was scared. I felt like I was being naive. I felt like I was being disrespectful. I felt like I was being irrational. And I probably was all of the above. And I was being conscious of it. Am I showing off for me? Am I showing off to others? Most people don't even know this watch is an expensive watch, except people that know what kind of watch it is, right? And then you take steps. Maybe you start off with $1,000 watch, $5,000 watch, $15,000 watch, $50,000 watch, six-figure watches, and beyond. There's levels on levels, and all of it's created from a thought. I would love to hear from you guys if you have any questions on this, because I've invested a lot of time and still continue to do about why do we think the way we do. I think as an entrepreneur and a business owner and just someone that wants to be happy in life, you have to think for yourself. 99% of people I know don't think for themselves. They pull from their old experiences. They pull from what their parents would do or what grandma and grandpa would do, right? Maybe, if you're lucky, you kind of had this time to start seeing that, oh my God, I need to become a different person. It's okay to be a different person than you are. You have to have a conversation with your spouse. You have to have a conversation with yourself first and foremost, but then your spouse and then the people you care about. Hey, I might not be talking to you that much. I'm working on myself over here. Hey, I got to kind of change some stuff up. Hey, I know we used to like go out and hang out and get fucked up every night. I'm changing. I'm getting better. I'm going to become a better person for the future. I like the way I feel right now, and I want to continue to feel this way. Hey, I'm going to work out 4 times a week now because it makes me feel good. No more cheesecake in the house. No more pizza every night. I need you to step your game up, honey. No more food in the oven. No more junk food in the pantry. It's okay. You got to have, by the way, your thoughts, when you start changing your thoughts, you got to start having different conversations. It's part of the change. It's part of the growth. You follow me? So as you're doing this journey is going to be a journey. Like when I sit down with my wife, we've talked about all this stuff. We still do. And I'm not saying you don't butt heads with this stuff. Oh, that's stupid. Oh, why would you do that? Oh, blah, blah, blah. Again, it's not about you. It's about me. It's okay. It feels selfish. And it is selfish a little bit, but it's selfish for the better good. Like if I become a better person, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, how wouldn't everyone else around me benefit? If I can't take care of me, number one, how could I take care of you? If it's my loved ones, you can't, right? If I'm putting junk into my brain, how am I going to give you good out of it, right? Audit everywhere. It's an AP, my man. So at the end of the day, I'd love to talk to you about this if you guys have questions. Beacon, do we have anybody that wants to pop in and ask some thought audits about business thoughts? By the way, everyone.
Not yet.
Oh, great. I'd like to talk to you via like video on that. What do I? Because again, you're assuming there's a handful. This might be a semi-load full of thoughts. So if you could talk on that, I'd like to talk specific. I like specifics. I don't like to talk theory, honestly. Too many people are out here circle jerking their brains, mental orgasms, right? I mean, the simple question is, why do I think this way? That's the simple question. Where did it come from? Right? Like, for example, the lady, I remember it very clear as day when I pulled up in the Rolls, not this one, my other one. I pull up at the gas station. She's like, oh my gosh, you could feed so many families. Keep in mind, she's getting in a brand new Honda Civic, right? And I'm kind of a smart ass for sure. And I was like, yeah, I did. There's lots of families get fed at the Rolls-Royce factory, blah, 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 kind of what I told you. Then I look over, I'm thinking maybe she's a homeless person or something. I don't know. What do I know? And all of a sudden she's getting in this new Honda Civic. And I was like, hey, you can feed a lot of people with that car. You know that, right? Oh, what are you talking about? You got that Rolls Royce. Okay. You could have a bike. You could walk. Like, if you really want to think your thoughts all the way through, why the fuck aren't you walking? If you're worried about all that. Like, that's a lack of abundance mentality. It has nothing to do with me. That's on her. But that's what my thoughts go to. I used to be the same person. Spend less, do more. You've all heard this. Shut the door. What'd you think? We're born in a barn? Right? Do you really think 15 cents is going to change your life? That's the problem. If the air conditioning is running an extra 12 seconds, or the heat, depending where you're at, do you think that's your problem? Do you think that's where you should be exhausting your energy and your thoughts and your emotions? Just trust me. I would see my dad get fired up when that back door was left open. He gets fired up. He controls his emotions with his thoughts. Because that's what has been carried over from his mom and dad, his mom and dad's mom and dad, his mom. Like, it's a cycle. What if you just walk there, shut the door, and move on with your life? Or just leave it open and let it flow. I used to catch myself doing the same silly stuff. So all this stuff. What about your thought about you people, us, you people, that sounds degrading, us as individuals? There's a percentage of the world that will travel 5 miles to save 2 cents a gallon on gas. They'll waste more money traveling and sitting in a line to save 2 cents a gallon because that's what they've been taught. That's their thoughts. They think it's a cool thing. I like to watch all the clowns that do Black Friday. Why? Why would someone do that? Again, this is not me judging. This is my thoughts that I ask about. It doesn't make sense to me. It's irrational. Why would you go fighting and standing in line and spending money you don't probably have to do this stuff? It doesn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? Toilet paper run. Oh my God, I need toilet paper. Who in their right mind thought of that? I have t-shirts I could cut up in squares. I have socks that I don't wear. I mean, is it really that serious? right? Mark, when I see someone driving a Lamborghini or another nice car, my first thought is, I can only imagine how much they give their community. Most people in our position give back more than the average person's salary, 100%. We don't know. So this is another thing. I don't want to go down this path, but there's a thing called core values that we all have, right? We all have core values if you know it or not. Some are conscious and some are subconscious. My number one core value in my life, personal and business, is Care 360. I truly am trying to figure out the thought behind of how to, you can't outgive the world, right? Because I buy this car doesn't mean I can't give more. I actually believe I can give more because I have the car, right? I believe I can give more because I have the watches I want, because it allows me in whatever weird way. These are things I've dreamt about my whole life. See, the people that are judging you are the people that want what you have but can't get it, or don't have the capabilities to get it, right? Rich, hop on, buddy. Love to talk to you about that. It's a quick video, guys. Q&A on the video. So think about that. I love that, Mark. I'm the same way. I love to see people win. When I see someone win, I get excited. It's exciting to me because I know what it takes to win. See, the people that don't know what it takes to win are the ones talking shit. They're the ones that think it's easy. They're the ones that think you're screwing someone to get what you want. That's not the case. And by the way, what is even winning? Have you ever asked yourself what winning even is? Because what that means to me is, if you're winning at the office and making a lot of money, but you suck ass at home, you're not winning life. See, that's something that we don't see. A lot of people they're not looking at the big picture, they're looking at that micro moment. Their thoughts are, oh, they have a big house, they must have screwed someone to get that. Well, how do you know? Why would you even think that? Oh, they drive a Ferrari? Oh, yeah, dude, I heard they're a real shithead to work for. How do you know that? Who do you even know? Why would you even say that? And, by the way, I know a lot of people that drive shittier cars, that are terrible bosses, that people say the same thing about, just about a different car. See, it's not about the car, it's about the individual. You know what I mean? What's up, Ed? So all these thoughts, mom and dad's carried it over to you initially, grandma, grandpa, your best friends' parents. I mean, it's endless. We're picking up these thoughts and are thinking, why do we think the way we think? Why are we thinking about that thought? See, if you get online and you get emotional and you get all amped up seeing someone's post, what's funny to me is, why would you waste your energy to even respond if it's not serving you? If it's not making you a better person, why would you even exhaust mental brain capabilities in your time that you can never get back? You understand? Time is the only commodity that you can never. It's not coming. There's not an abundance amount of time. There's not. You and I will die. Period. And yet you're dicking around like you're going to live forever. I'll show this guy online, keyboard warrior. Do you understand the person you're actually trying to attack or go after doesn't even know you exist? They laugh at you. Delete. They're probably not even deleting it. Their assistant is. You know how many people talk shit about me and still will continue to do? I don't either, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because that says more about them than me. Their thoughts are controlling their day. Them focusing on me takes away, it steals from their success, it steals from their life. I couldn't imagine a grown adult talking shit about someone online that has children and a spouse in the other room. How would one do that? Why would one do that? Why? That's my thought. I don't know. It's stupid, it's ignorant, it's childish, it's immature. It's funny to me. You know, we've all been taught, and this is a thought I carry over in the thinking that I like, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. Period. It's not hard. But yet, with the internet, it seems that everyone wants to be heard. They want to try to scream louder than the other person. And we're creating a culture that is kind of, yeah, Johnny, you're right, man. Good job. Yeah, you put him in his place. He doesn't even know you exist. You understand? Two dipshits are connecting like they're boys or girls or whatever. Right? The king of the dipshits. It's a real thing. Hey, Bill. What's up, man? Yeah, I got a 25-cent raise, Bill. Cool, man. I did too. 30 cents, though. I guess you're the king of the dipshit today. All right, man, I got to go. Click. That's how it goes, guys. I grew up in this world. I know it. That's exactly. Dude, you understand people, like, at the end of the day, it's funny. And you've seen, you don't have to believe anything I say. Listen, open your ears. Like, you hear someone like, dude, I had a worst day of my life. Got in a car wreck, stubbed my toe, and slipped in the shower. Telling your buddy this, the dipshit buddy. Dude, you think that's bad? I got in 2 car wrecks, stubbed both my toes, and slipped in the shower twice. Like, they're trying to one-up dumbness. They're trying to one-up stupidity. They're trying to one-up your terrible situation. It's amazing to me. My thinking is, why? Why? You know, another thing is cool in the vulnerability piece about thoughts is when someone says, hey, Mark, nice shirt. You know what I used to do? Oh, this thing? Thank you, but, you know, I like your shirt too. We're not good at accepting compliments. I am now. Hey, Mark, nice shirt. Thank you very much. And just move on. That's a nice thing. Why can't I accept a compliment? Why can't you accept compliments? I've never been taught to accept compliments. I've always been taught it's no big deal. You know, and that's not my parents' fault. That's just what I heard. My parents didn't teach me that. I don't even know where I come from, but like, you just do it. You know what I mean? It's just weird. But think about it. All right, Paul, hop on, buddy. By the way, Paul and I are not related. I don't think, anyways. Beacon, can Paul hop on? Can you send him a link?
Yeah, already sent the link to him. Just waiting for him to hop on.
Guys, I appreciate you guys being here too. I know it's Friday, a lot going on, a lot of big things going on. I got some cool things I want to be sharing with you guys. I have a huge guest on Monday. This guy's had billions of views online, billions with a B. So you definitely want to be there if you want to talk. He's a character. So Monday, it's going to be a very good hour to 2 hours of cigars and coffee with my boy. So I don't want to reveal them yet, but that's going on. Wednesday, I have another guy coming on, an amazing buddy of mine I've known for, I think, 19 or 20 years. He's huge in the fitness industry. He's got some really cool stuff going on. And what I'm trying to do is expose you guys to people that I'm hanging out with on a consistent basis or talking to every day, what we're talking about, how we're talking, how we're thinking, what our thoughts are, and realizing like we're all the same. We're all good people out there just trying to figure it out. And you know, I know for a fact every single person listening to my voice can get, be, and do whatever they want. For the biggest part, I can't be taller. Maybe a half-inch taller if I keep doing the upside-down inversion table. I can't, there's a lot we can't do, right? Hey, can you share some coffee and cigars with me, bro? Absolutely, Dan Z. What's up, buddy? Hey, I've been told it's a leadership trait not being able to take a compliment. True leaders are humble, do amazing things, but seamlessly pumps others up instead of themselves. Mark, I don't know the answer to that. I've just never been a good person to take compliments. Well, I started taking compliments probably about 10 years ago. And, like back in the day, like even we'll talk the roles because it's behind me, but, I have a buddy that has a very successful company. Very, very, he has probably 10 times the amount of money I have. He has a lot of money. And he drives a Ford car, basic Ford car. You'd have no clue. Very humble in a big way. But like, I don't see a car as a show off piece. I don't see a nice, I don't see things as showing off. I see it as inspiration. So I remember laying in bed dreaming about wanting all these things and accomplishing them. To me, they're accomplishments. They're my trophies as an entrepreneur. It's not about you. It's all about me, truthfully. And I'm saying that in a nice way. Like, so my buddy, he's like, oh man, don't you feel bad pulling up with the rolls in front of your employees? I'm like, first of all, I've never even thought about it. Secondly, I don't care. I want to inspire. Like when I go to Starbucks, I've been put in books because of my roles. At Starbucks, a lady she saw the car. She's like, does God want you to be rich? I'm like, he doesn't. Does he want you to be poor? So again, different question. So at the end of the day, there's a lot of opportunity here. Cool, man. We got Paul here. What's up, buddy?
How are you, sir?
Great, buddy. How are you, man?
I'm awesome. Hey, great. Appreciate you bringing me in here, man. This is freaking awesome. I can't believe I'm on with the DM.
I know, man. Where are you out of?
Pardon me?
What part of town are you in?
So I'm up in the suburbs of Detroit, up in Michigan.
Nice.
Out in a place called Novi, kind of like Worthington, Westerville kind of area.
Okay.
Actually moved down here to the States in 92, and 92, 93, 94, I lived down in Columbus. So
yep.
Pretty, yeah, it's a good town, man. Good town. Couldn't find a decent hockey game on TV anywhere back when I lived down there, but you know, it's all good.
That's awesome, man. Hey, so what questions do you have, Paul?
So thought auditing, right? I mean, the Corona craziness has really slowed things down. I mean, I have, 5 sons. We're off to the hockey rink, almost 5 nights a week, and that's crazy. It's a lot of fun though. We have businesses and stuff. So now things have slowed right down. We're not going to the rink. Businesses still run into a certain degree. My one college business that I actually know Tim Bratz through from way back in the day, that thing's just come to a screeching halt because we can't get out and do any marketing and sales this time of year, which is, bread and butter for us right now. So it just gets you thinking, right? Like, okay, so how am I going to replace my income? What am I going to do? Going back to some of the stuff you talk about, they're doing way too much muling, not enough magician. There was a day where back before the last recession, I was a magician all day long, built it up, but then the whole thing fell apart, and it just, scares the shit out of me to lose it all again. So that's something I'm always thinking about. Like, man, you lost it once, you can't afford to lose it twice. So just a lot of thoughts going up through my head of how do I reinvent myself? What is my, superpowers, core competencies? What should I really be focusing on, and put people around me to shore up and just stuff like that. Then I'm in Tim's thing again the last couple of days for the second time, and just started working on that a little bit more. Actually putting a LOI in on an apartment up here in Michigan, 126 units, nice size project finally. So
nice,
just
man.
a lot going on, man. A lot going on. And I got to give you a ball cup, a prop, high five for the podcast, man. Because even before Corona was coming in, I was listening to that podcast, and you touch on a lot of things that are fantastic, man. Honestly, I can't wait to have your next event because I got to figure out how to get there, man. To be honest with you.
That's awesome, man. No, I appreciate it. A couple of things. You said a lot there, but I think the biggest thing is you got to play. You got to play offense, not defense, man. I know it's hard, like, to think that you could lose it again, but just to be clear, I feel like I'm getting ready to lose everything every day, which is how I play. I'm willing to lose it all to win it all. I think a lot of people are trying to win everything without stepping in the ring to get beat up, to get loose. So my thought is more of like, how do I control that emotion, right? Because emotion creates motion. And how do I step away from it? Like, how do I get more serious about what I really want? And more importantly, how do I protect my growth? Because there's a lot of things you could do to protect that downside. And not only that, you didn't lose it all. You still got your brain, you still got your capabilities. Losing it all is when we go 6 feet under. That's when I lose it all at the end of the day. But I'm on defense, man. I'm on offense, man. I see many people in the world play defense, and it's hard. It's very hard to do that because as soon as you start picking up momentum, you actually pull back because you start feeling uncomfortable or scared. I get it. I've been there many times. So I think it's just harnessing that thought and trying to ask yourself, okay, if I did lose it all, whatever that means, what would it look like? Well, I'm ahead of the game. I have 17 new, I think you should create multiple streams of income. I think you should have other income streams that are not necessarily responsible for you touching them. They're actually growing without you and growing. So it's all this crazy thought things I think about is how to grow, not how to retract right now.
Yeah. Last time going to the last recession, I was just, not living the right way financially. So it was a real hard hit. Now I can survive on very little money the way I've set things up now. So, but I feel like I need the life I'm living now isn't the life I'm supposed to live. I mean, I think I could do a lot more, live a lot bigger.
Yep.
I'm trying to move more from a scarcity, don't lose your shit mindset to more of a abundance. Hey, you know what? You've built it before. You had a pretty abundant thing going before. Let's get back there again, and just sacking up to go do it.
Well, not only that, biggest thing you said in that whole conversation is like, hey man, I wasn't living right with the money I was getting. So now you know better. So now if you get more money, you know how to manage it. This is why lottery winners typically go bankrupt. It's not about the money. It's about the individual that has the money. You know what I mean? We give money more credit than it is. Money has zero emotion. It's all the individual that has it in their hand. What do they do with it? How do they manage it or not manage it and all that, and what's important at that moment. But I would assume that time made you a lot tougher. Like you said, you could live. First of all, we could all live in the woods and kill our own food, and we don't need a whole lot to live. You know what I mean?
Right. Totally.
It's just that our friends might not think they're cool if they come over to our tent in the backyard somewhere. But I think at the end of the day, it's like the biggest thing is you like. I make more money not by earning more typically sometimes, but like also understanding how money works. Money is a tool. And a lot of people use money as an emotional tool. I use it more as I use it as a tool, period. It's just, if I have more, I can do more. If I get more and I do more, I can get more and do more. Like, it's just a tool. Obviously, I'm not saying I'm non-emotional attached because I want more money and I like money for what it does. Not necessarily I like the money, but it's a good tool. I've been rich and poor, man. I don't want to be poor. It's tough. It's tough out there. You know?
No, I mean, like you said earlier, things didn't totally fall apart when the business fell apart in 2008. I was developing, I was building, I had a bunch of different. It was going good, but yeah, the thing, it just stopped and it sucked a lot. But yeah, it makes you reevaluate, doesn't it? But yeah, you get back out there. We still did, kept a couple of the businesses going, but it was nothing like it was. I mean, you go from doing $3-4 million a year to $300-400 grand a year. It's different.
Well, it is different, but you got to pivot quicker too. I think, if you have that 90% drastic drop, it's because dude, honestly, back in 2008, so many people are so slow moving, they're like moving I picture like you're in the water. And when I say pivot, I'm in a speedboat and I hit it and I turn. Most people pivot in a steamboat and it's like,
right.
It takes forever. It's like, dude, it's going to hurt. Just pull the Band-Aid off and let's go. But what it was, the reason I think in 2008, I was in the real estate space. I made a lot of money actually back then too, because it was so clear to me what was happening because we do cash flow. We were focused on cash flow, not building and speculation.
Right.
It's literally, I saw it a mile away. We kept stacking up cash. We kept doing events talking about it actually because we saw it. We didn't know if it was going to be a week, a month, a year, or 2 years. We just knew something was coming, just kind of like what's going on right now. We didn't know it'd be called this, but we knew it was coming. Everyone's been talking about it for the last 3 years. Recession, something's got to happen. Well, something is happening. What are you going to do? So I think the key is just making those quick pivot moments and just cutting your losses. And when I lose, this is something I talked about I touched on a little bit. I invest to win. Most people lose. They pull back, restrain, contract, figure out, let the dust settle. It's like when you get a stock at 10 and it's at 3, you're like, it's coming back. Then it's 2, it's coming back. It's $1. Well, it's only $1,000. It's coming back, dude. You gotta get good at pulling the plug. That's a thought process, by the way, too. It's like, did you really lose? Because I can take that $3,000 and then go take that $3,000 and then go make $5,000 and then go make that $5,000 to $10,000. Like, you can't make it. You can't make anything with zero. A return. So I think people are getting a little bit quicker on the trigger to pull and kill it and move on to something else.
Yeah, I have a hard time stopping something because I feel sometimes like I'm giving up or quitting, and that's a big thing for me is not quitting, right? Like I just
quitting on what though? Quitting on what?
If you stop doing a specific kind of business or things and move into a different area, it's like I feel you kind of gave up or quit on it, and that's not.
Hey, dude, picture this. So picture this though. You're a different person, right? Picture back in the 50s, you're smoking 6 packs of cigarettes a day, and then in the 60s they say, hey, smoking cigarettes kills you. Are you a quitter because you quit smoking cigarettes?
No, you made a good life choice, right?
Exactly. You've got more data and you know how to make a better decision.
Right.
So
right.
I'm not quitting on me. I'm quitting on this piece because it's not serving me. The difference too, you're asking yourself how to serve the business. I'm asking how can the business serve me? Dude, it's not about me serving the business. I'm only one person. I can't serve 16 companies, but they can serve me. It's abundant. That's the hack, right? That's the thought. Is like, how can I be valuable? What's my unique ability, as Dan Sullivan would say? What's my piece that I could bring value to be able to get paid? But dude,
right.
You know how many businesses I fell at all the time. But I'm not I get involved in them because I get excited. And
right.
I think I'm not getting in any company thinking, I can't wait to fail today. Let's go. But what I'm doing is I'm looking at the employees that are in that company and I'm asking myself, not how do I fire, but where can I place them in a different company? Where are they better served at? Not just for me, by the way. I've closed companies up that don't serve my team. I might be making money from it, but it might not serve my team because they're not growing. There's no growth potential at all. It's literally just a churn and burn model, just make money model. As opposed to hey, how do we grow? I want all my teams to be millionaires. I want them all to have great lifestyles. And I don't just say it, I genuinely am teaching them how to do it, And, but man, you're not quitting. You just have better data.
Yeah. I just need to deploy my personal assets and financial assets into things that generate more revenue, less muling, more magicianing, and getting the right people around me. Yeah. And the assistant concept that I've heard you talk about and Tim talk about, I mean, that has to happen because
anything Tim Brott says that's smart definitely came from me, 100%.
He'll tell you that.
No, he's a smart guy. No, I think, yeah, man. I mean, I see you. I mean, you're entrenching yourself in stuff. I see you posting and liking and coming to these videos and all that. I think that's where it starts, man. I think you're realizing. I mean, dude, you're a different person from 08. By far. How old's your boy? How old's your kids?
So 2 22-year-olds getting ready to graduate college, 18-year-olds getting ready to graduate high school, and then stepson 16 and stepson that's 13. So nice. All hockey players, and coached them all in hockey. Coaching in hockey and coaching in business has kind of been, my staple. That's kind of one of the things I've been doing. So I really enjoy that. I really enjoy working with people and coaching people. That's more of the musician side than the mule side, right? So
yeah, no. So here's a good thought, and this is a true story. You can ask any of my COOs that work with me. Coach yourself. So when I have a problem in my companies, I sit back and I say, Mark, you're the student, I'm the coach. What do you see that I don't see? Because you can take emotion off the table, right? Because when you're coaching, you're pushing kids harder than they would push themselves, right? That's what we do. Mm-hmm. We see around the corner before they go. I can't do it, coach. Yes, you can. Here's how. We don't do that to ourselves. We're like, you're stupid. Why didn't you see that? But we sell the stupid stuff, right? I ask any of my CO, if they're like, blah, 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 I'm like, stop. We're the coaches now. What do we tell ourselves as a student? You coach yourself through it. What you do is you strip emotion away and get down to logic. Where you're working harder, you're making less, we probably should cut it.
Yep.
Not beat your head against the wall, not try to figure out how to turn it, turn a piece of steel into a piece of wood. It's just not going to happen, But coaching ourselves is a very interesting thing, for sure. Dude, even when I get in a fight with my spouse, my wife, I sit back and think, I'm like, man, coach, Mark, why are you getting mad? Why are you saying the words you're saying? Are you degrading? Or do you feel degraded? Because she might say something that makes me feel bad. She's not saying it like that, and vice versa, right? It's right. Interpretation of data, and you got to talk it through it. It's not always easy, as you know. Well, shit, you know better than anybody. You got 5 kids, man. You're doing something over there.
Yeah, it's challenging. It has its moments. That's what it's all about, though, right? I mean, my wife, my kids. That's what it's all about.
The journey, dude.
Living a better life is for all of us. That's
Again, man, I play this game. You can I'm sorry, I'm thinking about this more. I play this game. Let's say if I have a company and we have kids now, right? Like if your son came up to you and said, Dad, I absolutely hate hockey, but I love the cello. I can't wait. I wake up wanting to play it. I can't wait to play it. I don't want to go to hockey practice. My legs hurt. My body hurts. I'm not going anywhere with it. You say, son, keep playing hockey. That's what you're meant to do. Or do you say, dude, just be the best you can be? He's not quitting hockey. He's moving on to something bigger and better for himself.
Right.
So I play that game with myself.
Funny you say that, because one of them who was the least talented of the 5 at hockey took a year off and did horseback riding and did some indoor lacrosse and did some other things. And, we supported him in it. And then, came back around full circle and he wanted to get back into it. But,
the journey, just like you with your business, maybe you should, I'm not saying do this, but maybe you said, like, your business is coming to you and saying, hey, we're not making it right now. We need to change. We need to pivot. We need to just shut down and be done with it. Maybe that's the college business, right? I think college business is going to look way different, by the way, moving forward in many different levels. Like, who's going to pay $30,000 and sit on a computer and get a degree? But I'm sure there will be a percentage, but it's going to be different. And I don't even know what side you're on, but maybe that business isn't serving you for what you set out to do. Honestly, man, I'm talking real, like, dude, real estate. I don't care about real estate. I don't care about it at all. Real estate's my identity, though. So they said. My book, I came out with my book 2 years ago called 10-Minute Business Owner. Everyone's like, dude, you can't write a business book. You're in real estate. I'm like, but I'm a business owner. They're like, but you have real estate people that follow you. I'm like, okay, but the people that succeed learn business, not real estate. They do real estate. That's a product. But real estate to me, once I discovered it's just a product, no more, no less. Obviously, there's humans in it and all that, clearly. Right. But it allowed me to grow and detach from it to really build something proper.
Right. Yeah, because the real estate, what you do is pretty much just sales and marketing, right? And just putting people in the right chairs and getting the right systems running. And
we do a lot of real estate, but I don't like dream. Like, when I first started real estate, I wanted to have 100 doors. I wanted to go collect rent and meet all the tenants. I wanted to have, the best front doors and the best looking lawns with the white picket fences. Like, it's not. I mean, I want quality product now, and we have SOPs and doing all that. Back in the day, it was me doing everything, force feeding it, muling it out. I enjoyed it. I'm not knocking it. I enjoyed it for a minute. Again, I was a mule and I didn't even know I was a mule. That was the difference. Now I know when I'm muling, because I'm very clear. Mark, you got a mule for the next 90 days to discover what you need to do to take this to the next level. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So, cool, man. Well, Paul, I appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you too, Mark. Thanks, man.
Keep me posted with your journey, buddy. It's awesome.
I will, brother. This was awesome. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Cool weekend. Thank you, guys. Anybody else? I got a couple more minutes. I do have another big call here at 10 o'clock with someone very important. So I got a couple more minutes. What do you guys got? Anybody else here has a question? What's up, Rob? What's up, Ed? Ed said, stuck between them sucks. 2. Yep. What's up, Pat? Get Pat Hilton on here. He can play the guitar for us or something. Anybody questions, guys? Hey, again, April 24th, 12:34 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, The Magician versus the Mule comes out. I would show you a copy of it, but it's in my office. It is. I hope you guys grab a copy or more. It's a great book to read. Quick read. It's only 150, 60 pages, something like that. Just a journey. Got a great testimony on there from a buddy of mine, Tim. It's cool. It's really another cool thing is 100% of the proceeds go to charity. I don't collect a dime on the net proceeds. The books, I literally, every one of my books, 100% of the net proceeds go to charity. And I've written, I think, 12 now, with a bunch more in the pipeline in my brain. But guys, if this has helped, if you'd give me a shout out, let me know if this is good stuff. I'll continue to do these. If not, that's cool too. I do have an amazing guest, like I said, Monday. My boy will be hopping on here Monday at 8:30. He's coming from the West Coast, so it'll be 5:30 his time. But we are going to light you up. We're going to shine the light at a whole nother level. Your thought audit process better be dialed in, because he's going to have you thinking at such a whole nother world, whole nother dimension. in life, I can't get out of the job. Stuck between working for a living and life, can't get out. Ed, you've been saying the same thing for years. You can always get out if one wants to get out. Actually, Ed, because I know you're in the railroad industry, there's a buddy of mine, actually, I know recently out of Kansas City. He left the yard, and now he's literally 10x his income. So, and he does real estate, and he's out of Kansas City, St. Louis area. Kansas City area. So, a lot of cool stuff. What's up, Will? What's up, Dylan? Thanks for doing this, Mark. Appreciate it, guys. Hey, if you guys need anything, let me know. I'm going to bounce off. Beacon, anything? You good?
We are good. Be sure to
folks.
tune in on Monday at 8:30 a.m. Come 5 minutes early. We're going to have a banger for you guys. We're dropping jewels always. And always be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more. And, personally message us some questions if you do come along with some questions during the weekend.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it, Beacon. Thank you guys and gals for being here. You guys mean a lot to me. I'm serious. I'm thinking about you. Whatever I can do to help you on this journey, let me know. Have an amazing day. Take it easy.